What's going on, Red Cup Review family? It's your host, Rob Banks, and today we're looking at the Mezco Supreme Taco Supreme Night Batman from the 112 Collective line. Is that a custom suit Superman over there? Yes, it is. Stay tuned for the pictures to get a closer look at both of these. Let's get on with the review. Portrait number one, we're taking a look at the closed-mouth stoic look. This is where we're going to start off, and the shape of the cowl is done really well. You can see that the shape of his face is a little bit puffier. It's not as slim and sleek. He is getting up there in years, and he is packing on a little bit more weight. And it kind of reminds me in the movie Rocky, right? Remember the last Rocky movie where he wasn't, he was kind of old and over the hill, so he really needed to pack on the size and the power behind his shots. So he kind of beefed up and puffed up, and that's kind of where I see Batman getting as he gets on in his later years, in having to kind of pack on the weight and the pounds and stuff. So the puffier face kind of lends to a little bit more of the credibility of what they're trying to go with the figure as a whole and the idea behind it. This is really awesome. I love the steel frame around the cowl, or the reinforced. It is a fucking farce. Reinforced carbon fiber type thing they got going on there, and it really blends in well with the back of the cowl, right? That goes into the back of his neck to give him a little bit more support. Because let's face it, Bruce over here is getting a little bit older, and it looks good. All the paintwork around the lips is fine. They don't look pinkish. They kind of blend in almost a little bit too much with the rest of his face. Again, there is a little bit of puffiness, and he has the cleft in his chin. There are a couple of shadows that are missing here for some reason. It's not showing up in the video, but I can tell you that when you look at this thing in person, the shadows around his lips and his mouth are actually done much better than what you're getting here, at least from what I can tell. Second runner-up here, we have the Grit and Gritty Batman face sculpt. I'm calling this the Clint Eastwood sculpt. He's got basically just the that half-ass smirk that he's got going on. And to Mezco's credit, the wrinkles in the face are properly done. He does have a big area. This guy must have a massive mustache, right? He gets that from Thomas, though, right? Thomas always had the big mustache. Daddy-o. The white of his teeth do not have any rub on them, and they don't bleed into the lips, so the painting on those is very well done, although he does look like he could use some braces, or at least some Invisalign. Although from about this far away, he works fine, and he'll look fine. If you pose him like this up in the collection, you ain't going to have to worry about it. But as far as up-close shots go, bam, you're going to want that head sculpt, at least in my opinion. Behind door number 3 is the Unmasked Cowless sculpt, and also my favorite. I think they've knocked it out of the park with all 3 versions of their Bruce Waynes, and this looks great in my opinion. I think the hair, however, looks a little bit like concrete. It's got almost like they did well. It's all right, although there's no real hairlines in them, so it kind of looks like concrete to me. Looks like he has a concrete toupee. I understand the buzz cut idea thing that they were going for, although you can see the strands of hair kind of going up in front here. They should have went straight through the back. For some reason, up on the top of the head, it becomes like, looks like the fucking surface of the moon as far as I'm concerned. But I do love the face sculpt, though, right? So from this angle here, he looks great. The eyebrows are done excellently well. They have the perfect amount of gray and white in them, so that's very well done. He's got a really nice look to him, and the blue of his eyes, oh boy, does the blue freaking show up, man. The blue shines as bright as the sky, man, and that's great. I think that works very, very well. This is pretty dope, man. Even when you tilt his head down a little bit, you can see the furrows in his brow, the wrinkles therein. So I think they nailed this one. Besides the hair. The hair ain't going to bother me, though. I can look past stuff like that, even though I got to be critical for the sakes of this review. And now we're taking a look at the outfit and the articulation, all right? We're going to also take a look at the cape, so to speak. All right, so the outfit itself, okay, is the same exact material they used for the Spec Shop Punisher. The material of the actual outfit is the same exact thing you would find on the Mezco Special Ops Punisher, especially this part. You can see it almost looks like it's two different materials. It's the same material, only a lot less solidified rubber over here. You can almost see it. Look, see it's starting to separate? See the air holes there, right? That doesn't mean it's wearing out, just to show you it's not one solid piece of rubber. Now, here's a little something to watch out for right away. The bending of the elbows, right? So you could bend the elbows. They're double jointed elbows, right? They bend up just fine. You see how this part of the rubber touches this part of the rubber in here? Well, if you keep it like that for a while, when you go to open it up, you could see that it's kind of sticking, and you got to unstick it. You just got to move it up like that, right? So don't get all worried that your figure's getting stickety and stuckety and all that stuff. You can see it kind of happen on that one too. And I'm sure it'll also happen behind his knees, right? Anyways, the knee pads are freaking awesome. These are awesome, awesome knee pads. I know I say that word a lot on this channel, and I love the boots. This is really like I'm going to just stomp a mud hole right in your head, Batman. Love it. Here at the bottom of the boots, they really look like he could kind of go to work on some villains, which is really cool. Here's the belt. The belt is nice. It's a little bit bigger. Everything on this Batman is a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier. As far as the back goes, he has the holder back there for the grappling gun, right? His bat grappling gun will sit in there. Kind of just the nose fits in there, though, just like that, right? And if you don't want to put that in there, and you want to just put his, I guess like the bat claw or whatever you want to call it, this thing can also slip in there like this. And it sits in there really nice and neat, too. So if you wanted to have that instead of the bat claw, that also works. All right, getting back to the figure. The ab crunch going forward is decent, not great. Going back is pretty good. Pretty good going back. His arms go all the way up and around. I don't really want to get into the whole articulation of the figure because you guys are Mezco. You're watching this channel, you're watching this review, you guys have Mezcos before. Again, when you rotate his arm up and you see that the outfit starts to wrinkle like that, just kind of massage it out. You know what I'm saying? Really work the material. I say that a lot on this channel too. Remind you guys constantly to work the material so you're not like sticking it and stretching it beyond what it's supposed to. Although there is a lot of give in the underarm area and in the leg area, which is pretty damn good because, let's face it, he can do some really awesome splits without having to destroy the material underneath. So that makes me quite happy. He has a really good side-to-side range without having to worry about the outfit getting ripped up or anything like that. So they are coming along pretty damn good with their rubberized suits and materials. So that's cool. All this is the same. This rotates all the same way. The head goes up about yay high, and then he can look down. And there's a little, see how this is sliding here too? You can look all the way down. That's great. What's cool is pop the head off. You got to hold this down when you pop the heads off, right? Because this also comes up, and there's a magnet under there. Hello, Mr. Magnet. The magnet is to take this cape off, okay, and pop in the drape cape. Drape cape, grape ape, right? You put that back on. You might want to play with it a little. You might want to try to slip it in there because it's like just stitched in. So be careful. You might want to kind of get that material under there like that so that the whole magnet is exposed. And then you take the top part and you just put it right back on. And boom, it's ready to go. And the head right back on as such. Right? Works out just fine. Getting along with the outfit again. Take a look at the marks on that. Look at the bat symbol. I thought I wasn't going to like this bat symbol. I actually really, really like it. It takes up most of the chest. It kind of adds to the realism of most center shots and gun shots because, you know, he ain't going to be moving as fast. And this will be able to deflect a lot more damage than I'm sure some of the other bat outfits did in his former glory days. Okay, the leg goes up about that high. It kicks really high. He could do really high side kicks. I know there's a way to balance them where you could just have him kicking up like that, but there are other reviews on YouTube, which I'm sure you guys have either already seen or will be making your way to after this to check those out. Now, as far as the cape goes, my favorite part is something we've had a long time coming, and that is the cape. The wired cape has a wire running on both sides, but not just that. There are also wires running down the pleats of the cape on the back on each side. One running right here, actually. So you're going to want to pose that up. There's one right here and one right here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires in all. And you can really get his cape to kind of blow out. I mean, the cape really goes out if you wanted it to, you know. But again, maneuver it. When you get your figure into the pose you want, really work it. And maybe I'll do a posing tutorial for wired capes, because I've gotten pretty good with them over the years, working with statues and stuff like that. You want to make sure that it runs right over the arms or the shoulders like that. Or if you want the look that kind of hides the shoulders, you could do that too. Make sure to run your figure along and have it form fitted to his body. A lot of people complain about the drape not being right on some of these characters. Oh, the figure doesn't drape right on a wired cape. You can get it to drape right. You just got to work with it, all right? Put in some elbow grease and you'll get it to look just fine. That's 5 seconds of me not really even putting in any time, right? The material on the cape could have been a little bit better. It's thin. It's like the same. It's actually the exact same material as the other cape, except it has wires running through it. Excuse me. That's about it. Pretty awesome. Pretty diesel Batman. He really looks like he could bust your ass if he put his, put your strength into it. Go ahead, put your strength into it. Look at that. Looks great, right? Let's get on to the accessories. And this is where Batman really shines. And can you say it with me? 1, 2, 3, a ton of accessories is what he comes with. He comes with close to 11, I believe, different hands. Let's take a look at one of the hands right here, just to give you guys an idea of the different type of paintwork, because all the hands themselves are pretty much painted exactly the same. Give you guys an idea of all the different types of, textures and stuff like that on his actual hands themselves. He comes with this nice little semi-gold, semi-bronze. It's like 3 batarangs together, so that looks pretty cool. He comes with the usual ton of batarangs, and they all have different moldings and scuff marks on them. They're all kind of similarly molded. They're fucking different, bro. All right? So different in there. He's got this big-ass gun he comes with ever since The Dark Knight Returns, or Dark Knight Rises, rather, where Batman had to pull out his EMP gun. All of a sudden, it's okay for Batman to carry a big-ass gun with him. Maybe he had it a few more times in the comics and stuff. But this is pretty cool. It looks good. It's nice. Looks like something he could take out a big-ass supervillain with, especially if he's fighting alongside Superman and Wonder Woman and stuff like that. Here's his grapple gun, right? Grapple gun is pretty damn cool. And he obviously comes with, just like all the other figures, he has one with a rope. He's got one with the bat claw, where it's kind of like not as extended. And then you can pop that out, and you can put in one right here where it's getting ready to be shot out, right? Looks very good. The color on it is good. There's almost no bleed in any of the paintwork. This is really nice. This is like a really dangerous looking weapon, right? You could use it like this. It also opens up. There's a hinge right in the middle, and it snaps that way. And bam, he has like this bat claw looking thing that he could like maybe pin supervillains to like a wall, like the way Wolverine used to, except there's no claw to pop out here. This is a really vicious looking weapon for a guy that doesn't kill people to be wielding. Look at the paintwork and the molding on it. It's just really excellently well done. There's multiple different colors in there to show you guys that it's actually been used. Right? Looks great. And here is a big batarang for straight up just cracking people. The molding on this is super, super good. The paintwork on it is even better. Be careful, there's pointy edges. Right? Looks good. As far as I'm concerned, that's really nice paintwork. And you got the standard stand, which I'm actually pretty happy they didn't put the little peg into where the bat symbol is. And his drape cape. I didn't really show off the drape cape too much because I'm probably never going to use it. Well, there you have it. Mezco managed to give us another all-star figure. And shout out to my little man for calling Grandpa Batman. Yeah, he's awesome. Listen, you're going to like him. I like him. And hopefully he makes his way into your collection as well. Links down below for some merchandise to help to support the channel. If you don't want merchandise, just a like, a subscribe, maybe even just a comment to let us know what you guys think of the Supreme Knight and the wired cape and how Mezco's just trying to push push themselves forward, so to speak. All right, we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.